Very happy about our weekend, being able to win all 3 games against an outstanding Santa Clara team, well coached, tremendously disciplined, a team that averaged about 7 runs a game last year, hit over 300. So I was tremendously concerned going into the weekend, and we were able to win 3 games. And as you know, all the games that we played were in the balance at some point or another. So it was an easy weekend for us, but we did some good things, played some good defense, quality pitching, and timely hitting. I was grateful and very happy about our crowd, our fans being here this weekend. It was, whatever we ended up having, maybe over 20,000, 22, 23,000 in that vicinity. That means a lot to us, so we're grateful for that.
Questions? Raise your hand, please. Roger.
Can you talk about Adam Westmoreland's performance today?
I thought he was good. The thing that was so important to me was that he was comfortable, wasn't trying to do too much. He was around the strike zone. Even when he was a little bit behind, he was close, and he seemed like he enjoyed being out there. So he hadn't been there, in a while. It's not easy. Just like when Kumis came in the game, it was a little bit excited to begin with, but Adam was outstanding today. I was happy to see that, and I think he has a chance to get better as we go.
Yeah.
You got Jackie and Christian in the 3-4 hole for reasons, and they both just swung the bats really well all weekend. Talk about obviously that's what you expect from them all year.
Well, they're very disciplined hitters. Their approach, their emotions are in check majority of the time. They understand the strike zone for the most part. They look for pitches to hit. They're not afraid to take a pitch, to get a better pitch. Sometimes I want them to hit before they hit, but they're good players. And if we can get some guys on base, and we got a chance for those guys to drive some people in.
Scott.
Talk about the decision to use Roth at DH. Is this something we're going to see on a regular basis each weekend, or what are the plans for Michael?
I don't know. I think that it's important that you have players that you can use that aren't everyday guys, and he's going to pitch. That's going to be his primary responsibility, but I think he plays a pretty strong defensive first base. He can swing the bat from the left side. He got a start today. Robert Berry got a start. We got to keep those guys in the mix because we're going to use them, and you can't expect them to perform if you don't give them opportunities on a consistent basis. So I'm going to try to give him his fair number of at bats and keep Berry in the game as well.
Yeah. Adam Matthews sort of turned the game around today through the runner out of the plate, and then comes up and gets the bunt single to lead off the rally.
Yeah, how many times do you see a guy make a play and then he leads off the inning? I mean, it's incredible. When I saw him coming up, the percentage of him getting on base, you always feel like it's almost 1,000, and he pushes a bunt down, has a bang play at first, and the dust flies and he's called safe, and we end up having a big inning. So that was a big assist from the outfield, and then he gets on base and starts the rally.
Can you talk about what you see in Adam after this start compared to when he was a freshman? How has he changed as a pitcher at all?
Well, I think that he's changed from a standpoint that when he was a youngster just getting here, he was a power guy. He was going to beat you with his stuff, not necessarily his pitchability, where he's going to locate. But now, he throws some 2-seamers up there, throws a change up. He can dump his breaking ball when he needs to, and his velocity is starting to come back with his 4-seamer. So I think that, he's in a good spot right now. Obviously, it's important that he stays healthy, but I think his velocity will get better as time goes on. But he's got some pitchability now. He's comfortable. That was great to see today for me. Guy hadn't been there a long time. For him to go out there and be relaxed and enjoy being a part of things today was great. I was happy for him.
Reggie.
I know it's early, but at what point do you start thinking about rotation for conference games, and where would you see Adam as we stand here now? Where would you be?
Well, I think it's still a little bit too early to tell. All of our starters gave us solid outings this weekend. You can say that they deserve to start again next weekend. Maybe they will. But I'd still like to see a little bit more from some other guys. Neff did okay for us out of the bullpen. Harper did too, but I think they're starting candidates. Kobe Holmes didn't get a chance to pitch. He'd been sick, missed some days of practice, and he's gonna get in the mix as well. But those guys did a nice job, and they could all be there. They could all be there in 3 or 4 weeks. We'll have to see.
Scott?
Last year, Christian had a very good series against Duquesne opening of the year. This weekend he had a very good series as well. I remember last year at East Carolina, he really struggled. As a coach, what do you do now to make sure that Christian keeps the momentum going and keeps the same approach to the plate now going forward?
I'm not going to do anything. You know, it's baseball. That's what it is. It's very difficult. You can have. I guess he hit probably close to 500 this weekend, didn't he? And you know, had some RBIs. Next weekend he could hit the ball harder and have a lot less to show for it. It's just part of our game. But he's going to be in there. He's in a position that he gets a chance to fail, and he gets a chance to fail for a long time. Just like Jackie, just like Wingo, just like a few other guys. And not everybody has that luxury, but he does, and he's going to be in there. And the East Carolina series a year ago was not good, but he was pretty good at the end of the year, and it all worked out. So, you know, those good players, they find a way to be successful.
Coach, you didn't have a whole lot of newcomers playing, I guess, a month ago, Kunis, Mooney, but how would you assess kind of how those guys reacted to their first weekend as a Carolina player playing the Pirates?
Well, I thought Mooney did well. For me, he swung the bat a lot better than his numbers indicate. He had some good contact, didn't get a lot of hits, but he played well in the field, and you know, he probably disappointed in his offense, but I'm not so disappointed. I thought that it was fine. Now, Kumis today, you know, he comes out throwing the ball pretty well. He walks the first guy and almost walks the second guy, and he would have been gone. Had he walked the second guy, we would have lifted him. And he got through it, and he was able to survive, and he got his feet wet, and that'll certainly help him going forward. And you know, we got Rosie got in there, and his back acted up on him a little bit, but we've got to keep playing those guys. We got to get Jake Williams some more time. He only had the pinch hit opportunity, but he's going to get some chances as we go forward.
Speaking of his pinch hit yesterday, Dante, any news more today on his back? Or?
Well, we think, you know, one of the docs took a look at him and he thinks he's okay. It's just he's got some back issues. He's going to feel good sometimes. He's not going to feel good. So just going to have to deal with it and play with it and try to get some time out of him. But it's probably apparent that he's not going to be an everyday guy. But that's probably not going to be the situation anyway. But we'd like to keep him available and get him in there whenever we can.